What's up? Good afternoon, good morning, or good night. I don't know when you're watching this. Actually, it could be any time, any of those times. So I generally like to say good to all of it because it could be any time you're watching this. I mean, we do go this does go out at a certain time, but who knows? If you're like me, you like to go back and watch things later. So I am Matt Mascarenas. Welcome to episode 4 of Ball Sports right here on E5280 Sports. You can get at us as I forget what I was going to say there for a second. You can get at us on all the platforms, on all the social media stuff at E5280 Sports Radio. You can follow us on X at 5280 Sports Radio, at Matt Mascarenas1 on X, and on IG. If you want to follow me, that's House Dad Matt. If you also want to follow our YouTube channel, please do that as well, because we have a lot of exciting and good stuff going out there on the YouTube channel as we get going with more content. Again, but if you want to get and follow everything that we do here at e5280sports.com, that is where you can do that. And just a lot of good stuff there, a lot of good content coming out and more each day. So, but and also if you do download the podcast and you follow the podcast, or you catch us that way too, give us a rating, give us a review if that is applicable. I think that's how you say that, right? I should really stay in my lane when it comes to the English language, but sometimes I dare to veer and kind of go on the highway a little bit. I get a little nervous, get a little scared, got to come back sometimes. But if you do that, that helps us out a lot there on the podcast. Go check out the podcast. A lot of stuff that's exclusive to the podcast, exclusive podcasts over there as well. So go check all that stuff out also, and good times. So anyway, welcome back to another edition of Ball Sports, a Wednesday edition, mind you, a Wednesday edition of Ball Sports. Today, we're going to get into a little bit of basketball. It's been a lot of football talk, and I've been stuck in that kind of football mindset. I got into a whirlwind of, I guess, the officials, the officiating and stuff like it. It happens every season, I feel like, but there's just the biggest thing to me is the lack of knowledge and education and just of just with the normal things. So that's what I got caught into all that. But man, I had a good weekend of football. Don't get me wrong. I gotta be honest though. I did not watch a lot of the conference championship games. I watched a little bit of the SEC championship game, which I thought was going to go a different way than what it did. I thought Georgia was going to win that game in dominating fashion, maybe even double digits. But Alabama kept they flipped that and they controlled the whole thing. And then you had the whole controversy that went into the playoff controversy. That's kind of been that kind of dominated the weekend, I want to say. Really dominated the weekend, got in even into Monday, and it was still being talked about into yesterday. So that was interesting. And my take on that real quick is it's really hard to look at all that and say that. So you can't look at what happened and how it happened and the teams that are in and say that you're surprised by that. You're surprised by Alabama getting in over a Florida State team that lost their quarterback. They still won games, but there's a lot of things to compare how in the past this has went a different way, but you're not going what Alabama went and did. They beat a team that hasn't been beaten 2 years. I mean, maybe a little over 2 years. I think it was like 2.5 years. I want to say they haven't been beaten that long. So just by that, you got to, they're in, right? You can't, they're the SEC champion. And I don't care what end you are on of the country or where you're at. SEC football is a pretty big deal. And to have the SEC championship in the college football playoff and it being Alabama, who reeled off, what was it, 11 in a row or something like that, 10, 11 in a row after they lost to Texas at home, and everybody buried them. I buried them. I didn't think they were the same Alabama teams. They were the same Nick Saban teams. So they beat Georgia. They got to go in, right? They got to go in. Then you got Michigan and Washington, who, I mean, you're not going to look, you just, there's no cases you can make. And other than Michigan, you look at Michigan and say, okay, their coach is suspended. There's allegations of cheating. With all that, should that happen? Should they be in the position that they are in? Should they be in the playoff? You could talk about that, but as far as it's Michigan, I mean, it's freaking Michigan, Big Ten champs. You're going to put them in. Washington, you're not Pac-12 champion. They're going to go in. There's nothing with Washington that you can look and say that they don't deserve to be there. They are, and they should be there. And then you look at Texas. You're not going to take the team that lost, the only blemish that's on Alabama's record, and Texas went and did it. They did everything they needed to do to get there, and they beat Alabama. So you're not going to look at Texas or Florida State and switch those. It's always been, you look at the ACC too. It's not a big power football conference. It's not one. It's like, it's a weak conference. It's always looked at a weak conference. And when it comes to football, yeah, okay. Clemson. I mean, who else am I thinking of? There's other teams that kind of just kind of like maybe Virginia Tech a little bit here and there. Are they even still in the ACC? I'm not. I feel like they might be in the. I feel like they're in the ACC. If they aren't, oh well. All reaction, no research here. I feel like they are though. They might even be in the Big Ten. I get so confused on the conferences anymore. I really, really do. But as far as like football, you don't look at the AC. And don't get me wrong. Like, I wish the quarterback was still. I wish he was still healthy. So maybe they win those games, those last two games by more than what they did, and they really make it interesting where you can't deny them to be out of the games. But at the same time, you look at from Florida State's, it's a perspective. They did everything they needed to do, and they still won games. But there's nothing over the past, however you want to look at it with college football. There is nothing that would tell you that a lot of these selections are based off of what happens on the field necessarily, and not so much who's your coach and who's the prestige of your franchise, and there's more things that play into it. And if you didn't know that, if you were still like kind of shocked by all this, just everything that's happened now should kind of put you into that. Okay, that makes sense now. And you shouldn't be too shocked, shouldn't be too surprised about it unless it directly affects you and that's your team that it happened to. So it's crazy. Like, it's crazy to hear all different aspects. Coach Prime said himself that you're not going to keep out Alabama and Nick Saban out of that. You're not going to. And he even said that he wants those problems. He hopes to have those problems as soon as next season. So, but like he's a big Florida State alum. I don't know how big how wanted he's going to be or how liked he's going to be now after what he said. But yeah, he understands, he gets it. But that's just where we're at with college football. And we're at some point we're going to really get into the ins and outs. Not ins and outs, but really dig into because there's a lot of transfer portal stuff that's happening in college football along with what's going on. You got high level quarterbacks that are transferring. You got coaches like Matt Rule from Nebraska saying that a high level quarterback or a good quarterback in the transfer portal is going to cost you 1.5 million. I mean, holy smokes. You got coaches that are suggesting that to start a different kind of college football, I guess, league or division. I don't know. I don't know what you would do with it, but or what you would call it, that set up for these kids just strictly to get paid. So there's so many things that's going on with college football right now that everybody's hitting the transfer portal, everybody's leaving. It's free agency. There's I don't even know. Somebody was saying that they feel bad for high school kids. I think it was Coach Prime that was saying it, that he feels bad for high school kids being recruited because gone are the days where you can just recruit kids from high school and they stay in your program. Now you're recruiting other programs kids for transfer portals, that kids are going to go in that's what you're kind of recruiting now. And junior colleges are getting left out. It's kind of crazy how all this stuff's happening, but it it's something that I really want to really get into at some point and go, because it's wild. It's wild and crazy. But I mean, college football has been making a lot of money off these kids for a long time, and and this is their own it's their own problem. It's their own issue. Why they're in this issue is because they did so long with making it so difficult for them to do anything or to buy anything or to live in any way, that it was considered that they were being bought, that they were being tampered with. There were boosters. There, if you buy them a hamburger, you're bribe. There's just so many things that were going on, and now because it was so strict, now look where we're at. So it is what it is. But I would love to get into it more, and we will as the season goes, as the off season, I should say, goes on, even though we still got the tournament coming up, or the playoff, I should say, coming up. And thank God for next year, we got the 12 teams coming. It couldn't happen soon enough. You know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So, but moving right along into the NBA in-season tournament, I don't know if anybody's even really locked into this. I'm kind of in and out. I was locked into the games last night. I was watching I was watching a lot of college basketball. That UConn North Carolina game was pretty good. UConn ended up pulling that away in the end. There's Iowa State tonight, women's college basketball. That's going to be a killer game. Because the killer is going to be playing in the game. I'm excited to watch that game. But I don't know if anybody else is watching this or is locked in, like I like, or even cares, but I've been kind of paying attention to it a little bit more. And I'm really looking into it, like in a situation like, here's the bracket now. Best case scenario for the NBA in this situation right now is what they're going to have. The potential of the Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks in this, playing in Vegas for the championship on Saturday. The Pacers are a team that's kind of like, I'm not gonna say they came out of nowhere, but the way that they're playing, with the emergence of Halliburton being the only player other than Nikola Jokic to have, what was it, a triple double without any turnovers or something crazy like that. So that's intriguing. But the best thing that can happen for the NBA is you get Giannis versus LeBron. Now, and in my opinion, it would be good. It would be good for the Lakers, or for the NBA, I should say, that the Lakers and LeBron James or even Giannis, even a guy like Giannis, that though one of those two guys are the first team, or the first person to hold up, the first player to hold up a championship, or in this in-season tournament. The IST is what they call it, the cup. I think is that what it's called? The cup. They got a cup there. So if you're the NBA, you're digging it, man. You're absolutely loving this. You're loving it because you got the Lakers and Giannis potentially. And that could be a good deal. That could be a really good deal. Because if you if you look back on this tournament, could it still set a legacy? It does one of two things. So, especially if the Lakers win this one, it turns into now the Lakers are going to get shoved down our throats again. Now it's going to get looked at as the Lakers. The Lakers, can they be the team that's going to win the in-season tournament and are going to go on and win the champ? Are they the favorites to win the champ? There's going to be all that kind of sort of talk about the Lakers that we're all normally used to. So as far as, fans like us, fans like me, I should say, I'm not speaking for you in particular. I could have Laker fans listening to this. I don't know. Watching this, I don't know. It can get kind of annoying. The Lakers constantly, and this is just going to amp it up. Great for the NBA. I think it's great for the NBA and great for basketball and great for this in-season tournament for the Lakers to win. Does it add prestige to it right away with LeBron being the first guy to hold that trophy? Does it in a Laker uniform? It means more to the NBA to have Los Angeles win it. I think it would be the same if the Bucks won it, but from the NBA's perspective, I think they're going to want that Lakers matchup. Last night, it was a tough game last night, and some kind of issues going on down the stretch there with LeBron and the Lakers when they played the Suns, and it was a couple plays at the end there that makes me question too. LeBron James, how much power does he have in the NBA, and how much power does he have in this? Just like in situations in general. What goes through his head? Because we've seen him do the rolling on the floor, crying and throwing a fit. Let's go to the standings here because we've seen him doing that, doing those things several times. So we go to the Western Conference. We've seen him begging for calls. We've seen him running plays. We've seen him drawing up plays, taking over a game. But last night was a big series where he was freaking out about a no call on the floor. I think it was something to do with Booker. I think it was like a elbow or something like that from Booker. The ball, Austin Reeves was involved. The ball rose through somebody's legs. No possession, the way I understand it. And LeBron James calls a timeout. The referee was looking right through him, sees there's no possession, calls a timeout, and they award it to him anyway. Typically, and it was even said that they're not supposed to be, that's not supposed to happen. There's no possession. You can't call timeout. Yeah, you could go look at the Booker foul that he was going crazy whining about before. You could go to a lot of, there's a couple other situations coming down the stretch there where you can say, hey, LeBron's getting away with too much, as he just came off of a night where he basically got a head. So this was a situation where I think that I think that Ime Udoka was in the wrong, and I think that it could have been. It could. So this is one part where I got the whole thing. So I got to when it started, because a lot of it happens to when LeBron just comes in or you see the exchange. You see Udoka say something and then LeBron walks over and then they start getting into it. But this one kind of goes to where it started, and it actually started between Cam Reddish and the other cat here. We'll see here shortly.
Ooh, almost walked with it. Decent cuts the basket. And that time he will get free throws as Reddish got it.
Again, man, you see the talent.
It was right here.
It's
so here's
Jalen
Reddish.
Green
He's talking
giving
already.
It to Sengun so he could be the playmaker.
And boom, right there. It got into it with Eason. He comes over. He has words. Prince pushes him out. Sengun gets involved. And then here comes Anthony. I don't know what the hell. He's trying to grab him. And then you'll see here coming up. So they're going to show this replay again. And you'll see here, they'll show kind of a a view from the backside. So watch, here's LeBron. So now this is when they're going to start. Here's Udoka right here. This is when he looks over. He's talking to LeBron over here. He's in his right there. Right there. That's so this is what led to all of that. Then here comes LeBron, comes over there. Now, in my opinion, as a head coach, excuse me, you don't say stuff like that. You don't engage with another player like that. You don't do it. But that's high school, and this is my experience, high school and middle school. You don't do it. You don't, even in an AAU. I've had some high school kids in the AAU situations. You don't even do it there, where these kids are just John. You don't even do it there, because it's in my opinion, you're on the sidelines leading guys. You're not actually in battle. I don't think, or not, you're not actually on the court playing. You're not actually in there. So I want to separate myself from talk. Plus, in my situation, my experience, they're kids. This is different. Udoka, I don't know how far off he is from playing. Okay, but he played ball. I think he even played against LeBron. I want to say he did play against LeBron. I think he was, if I can remember right, he played for the Spurs, and he didn't play a lot. He didn't have a lot of minutes. I feel like he was a tough guy, but I don't really know what that meant. I don't really know how much time he got guarding LeBron James. So he said something, and then this is where they're going at each other right now. Easton goes to shoot this free throw.
Found a niche as a defensive player.
They'll get teed up right here. Watch.
Came into the league.
He'll look over and
kind of
boom,
score
boom,
the basketball.
Back-to-back tees right there.
Trying to be a defender. Wow.
I think Ime Udoka and LeBron James just got tossed out of the game.
And he's gone.
The second technical.
Oh, was it just I think it was just Ime. It wasn't LeBron.
Ime got booted because that was his second technical foul. Like I said, this is a different situation. Do I agree with the coach talking? No, but this is a different situation, different league. Maybe he was finally sick of it. Maybe he was like, come on, you guys are just the Lakers bitch a lot, and that's what he said. You guys are bitching, but he said he said it in more of a if it didn't say you guys were bitching, you guys were acting like bitches. So LeBron took exception to that. I don't know if this one plays the whole where LeBron
Udoka,
turns around and goes back and forth, where they show that they were
thrown out of the game.
They were talking to each other.
And LeBron picked up a team.
And
that was his first.
He was a tough guy too back when he played.
Ime Udoka gets tossed for the first time as the Rockets head coach.
He doesn't say anything right here. So here,
LeBron
you've seen the transcripts. You've seen the back and forth with what he's saying.
Well,
and he's
LeBron
talking. They're natural.
Back,
the referee comes over
and
he
tees up both of them. And since it was the second on Udoka, he was tossed with the game.
Now, as far as that goes, it wasn't addressed to the official. It was addressed between the two. So he tees both of them up. In that case, you have to do that. He's standing right there, and either they go back and forth. I don't know if the official could have maybe just separated him and got him out of there without the technical foul, but I think it sets a good precedence on it. You guys aren't going to do this. You're not going to sit here and jaw back and forth while I'm standing right here. You're both going to get teed up. Oops, you already have one, Udoka. You're gone. You're out of here. It was crazy. It was just absolutely crazy, this whole sequence. But you can see the Lakers and where we are, and the type of mindset that teams like Houston are bringing up with Udoka. Because this is just a simple play, and Reddish is pissed because he got the foul on him, so he's going to go try to get in Easton's head.
It's Jalen Green,
and this is where it all starts right here with the bump. Says some stuff to him, and then it's over. And then Prince is going to get him out of there. Here comes, you don't do that. Hey, stop. That's where it happened. It all got started there. The Lakers are crybabies. They are what Udoka said they were. They do that. They do it. But a lot of teams do it as well. I just thought it was interesting. And it's also something like where it's funny where you get situations like this to where it gives you an example of like LeBron doing too much. LeBron getting just being able to do whatever he wants to do. And last night when they got into that issue with Sacramento, let me see if I can find this one. With that playoff game last night, or the in-season tournament game last night, I was kind of interested in that because it was a situation to where it was like, really, they're gonna let LeBron get away with this? This is what they're going to do? They're gonna let him get away with that? Like, I was shocked about that, and then I thought back to this, and I started thinking like, man, maybe that's how LeBron is officiated. Maybe that's how LeBron is worked. They just kind of let him do that. You know, Booker was down there at the end. He had the last kind of little, like I said, you could have called a foul on Booker there. You could have. But I didn't think that you were going to get I didn't think you were going to get LeBron caught. Like, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy on how that happened. And it just makes me wonder, like, players like LeBron James in the NBA now. Yeah, I get it from a player's perspective. You know, LeBron's the king. He's the GOAT. He's this, he's that. There's all those kind of situations to where you can say where that's kind of what other players like I get that aspect of it. Of, hey, that's the king. Hey, that's the GOAT. Hey, that's with LeBron. I think it was like I want to say this was in the bubble. And they said something along the lines of if Bron says we're playing. I can't remember who was the player that said it. But this guy can't be officiated that way, is he? Like, are we looking at it and saying that this dude is this, he's being officiated like this? Where they're just basically letting him do whatever they want? Whatever he wants? I just thought it was funny. Here's the other play. Now this one, here's the inbound. They want a foul right there on Reeves. He drops the ball. It goes through him. He's screaming for a timeout. No possession. They give him the timeout. See? Let's go back here. The official's watching the play. He puts his hand up and he gets him a time. He points here. See, this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's got the bench, the Lakers bench right here. He's LeBron James screaming timeout, timeout, timeout. And then so what are we doing? What are we doing here? He's watching the entire play. He sees the ball be it's crazy. It's crazy. But, like, are you buying this this in-season tournament? Because we're getting stuff like this. And they're arguing it. See? They had a chance. Here we go through it again. Boom. Boom. He's calling timeout. He sees it. This guy sees it. They got another chance, though. The Suns will get another shot at it with KD coming down. It's just crazy. It's really, really crazy to me how much the dude gets away with. How much the guy just is able to do whatever he wants. And I don't know if it sounds like I'm crying, because I'm not. It's just crazy to me how it's just, that just works. It's just crazy. So, oh boy, that's just some interesting stuff. But I think that's going to do it today. This let me know how you feel about this in-season tournament. Let me know how you feel about it. Again, you can follow us at 5280 Sports Radio on X or Twitter. Follow me at Matt Mascarenas1 on Twitter or X. Get at me there. Let me know how you feel about this, and House Dad Matt on IG. Don't forget to follow the YouTube channel as well. As I get out of here, hopefully I'll have a show for y'all on Sunday or Saturday or Friday or Saturday. One of the two. Hopefully I have another show. We can get into some more football going into over the weekend, or even more basketball. Like I said, a lot of basketball games tonight, a lot of games even going forward. Nuggets are back in the swing of things, and all that good, a lot of stuff going on. But get out there and check it out. And again, like I said, get at us on all the socials if you can, if you want to be a part of the show or what we're doing here. Follow us at all the places you can follow at, and to go check out our YouTube channel. But if you want to see everything, just hit us up on e5280sports.com. That'll have everything you want, everything you need. We got it. That's a song. I feel like that's a song. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good day. No, it's not Thursday. It's Wednesday afternoon. I don't even know what day it is. All right. Peace.